It was another dark, eerie night in our house. I was afraid to go to bed, but my mother ignored my fears about the darkness and the attacks I had the previous night and sent me straight to bed regardless of my fears. She told me to stop being dramatic and that it was just a bad dream and to go to bed. I may have been young, but I knew what I saw and felt, and that feeling wasn't going away. Something evil was in our house, and there was no way I was going to sleep. But she didn't believe me. Actually, no one believed me. My brother laughed, my sisters too. They said I was just making it up. But this was very real, and I wasn't making anything up. I was 7. I didn't know how to make things up. I just said it as I saw it, but they didn't believe me. I was the youngest of 5 siblings and wasn't taken very seriously, given I was the most jovial and carefree. But that night, I couldn't sleep, no matter what they said. I hid underneath the blanket, waiting and watching, afraid at what would happen. I stared at the ceiling, wide awake, too shaken from the night before to close my eyes. But this time there was no scratching, no burning orange light. This time they came for my sister. It was late. My sister was fast asleep. Hours had passed by, but I was still half awake, dozing off. Then a deep, unnatural cold settled over the room. I turned around to see if my sister pulled the blankets off me, but she was not there. The sheets were pulled back and she was gone. My heart sank. I leapt up and ran down the corridors, screaming her name. Then I noticed the front door was wide open. I looked out. Moonlight shone down on the dark, quiet, empty road. And there she was, laying in the middle of it. The world was deathly silent. The air felt too still. Not even the wind moved. Just the glistening of the moonlight down upon her lifeless body. She looked dead. I panicked and screamed. My mother came running out of her room, and so did my sisters. I told them she was out there, and we all ran to get her. We surrounded her, panicked, confused. I called her name, but it was as though she didn't hear me, like she was not there. I knelt beside her, shook her, tried to wake her up, called her name again and again, but my mother stopped me. "Don't wake her," she said anxiously, eyes wide. "If you do, she may never come back." What? I asked myself. Never come back. What did she mean? Just walk her back inside, but don't talk to her. We all looked at each other, stunned, amazed, unsure of what was happening or what to do. So we carefully guided her back into the house and into bed. She grunted, barely there or paying attention, and never said a word. That next morning I asked her if she remembered anything about last night, and she said no. "What are you talking about?" The others laughed, but I didn't. "You were sleeping on the road." "No, I wasn't," she replied. "You're making things up again." "I'm not," I replied anxiously. "We were all there, asked them, and they agreed." But she had no recollection whatsoever. My mum stopped us from talking about it and warned us not to bring it up again. But I couldn't help but think about it. What was happening to us? Were these the same spirits that came for me the other night? Why us? Why our family? What had we done to deserve such torment? These questions burned in me. I wanted to understand it. I wanted answers, even though I was afraid. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Had something taken control of her body and her mind? Was she used as a puppet? But for what purpose? Later on in life, when I researched the matter, as it never resolved in me, I found the answers, and what I discovered was that sleepwalking, also known as somnambulism, in ancient texts was connected to demonic possession. In 17th century England, the noctambuli, sleepwalkers, were feared as though they were witches hunting for souls in the midnight hour. In some villages, sleepwalkers were shunned, even punished, thought to be cursed by the devil. In Malleus Maleficarum, it was said that if you called a sleepwalker by their name, they would fall to their death and die under a demonic spell. In Slavic tradition, they were considered a lunatic who walks under the moon, just like my sister did. Then how were these demons coming into our house and possessing my sister? I didn't have the answers then, but one thing I'm more sure, this darkness was real, and it wasn't done with us yet. Have you experienced sleepwalking? Comment below.